Hi, I'm Katie with Modern Textiles, and today I'm going to show you my studio and give you a full walkthrough, as well as if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you what's currently in my works in progress bin that I bring to retreat. So just to give you a general layout of my sewing space, I'm lucky enough to have an in-home sewing studio. It's probably bigger than a lot of people's, but it's also for a professional quilter, probably on the smaller side, but you know, you got to work with what you got. And this is real life for me. So right behind the camera here, that's just a wall with one door to walk through. I am in my basement, so luckily I've got some windows, which is really nice to have actual sunlight coming through most days. As you can tell, we're in winter, so very cold outside. But just a general layout. I've got my long arm off here to my left, your right. I have my batting table, which I'll show you a little bit more with a panoramic style. Batting table, storage underneath. You can tell I've got a lot of storage underneath my long arm. And then I have my pressing station with my iron. I've got a couple of client quilts here that need to get shipped out, packed up. I've got my sewing space, which is typically where you see me doing all my YouTube videos and any videos. You may be wondering, why do I have cinder blocks underneath my sewing table? I'm 6 feet tall, so things just typically aren't at the right height for me. And I just don't want to have chronic back pain. So I boost a lot of stuff up. I do have my computer station off in the back there and that is an adjustable standing table. So that's nice to be able to move it as needed. And then in the very back corner, I just have some of my personal whips as well as color cards, fabric cards, things like that I need for quilting, as well as my bobbin winder for the big sewing machine. All right, so first things first, this is a quilt I just wrapped up. This is my cross paws pattern using poolside 2 fabrics from Ruby Star Society. I thought I'd show you underneath here though, is all my scrap storage, which is getting a little ridiculous, but I have 3 drawers. So I have 4 of these 3-drawer like Rubbermaid or Sterilite containers that I have just sectioned off into different colors. So I've got my neutrals mainly on the base. I've got black, brown, gray, and white. And then from there I have it broken out into a bit of a rainbow stash. So 12 different color variations. And then that way, this is probably the easiest way I found to keep my scraps in order, as well as just making it very convenient for myself and to keep them shut so they don't get dusty. I feel like that's always been a big problem for me, especially running a long arm. All right, and then moving back here, I've got some of my gear for recording video, audio, and then I have my scrap bag that is unusable scrap. So really like very fine trimmings of Haskell triangles, flying geese, you name it, that goes into this scrap bag. Once I collect enough of these, I typically convert that into like a floor poof. I use all of that. I really try to reduce any waste that goes to a landfill by repurposing even scraps I can't get used. All right, now we are at my batting table. So this actually was created specifically for batting. It's just got these nice area. Once the batting's used up a little bit, it drops into that half circle, and it's got a nice channel for me to just cut with my scissors, knowing I'm on a straight line whenever I'm using batting. I have all my thread that I use for binding. I really at one point went thread crazy. Not really my jam anymore. I do go out and buy thread to match as needed for binding for client quilts, but really that's kind of toned down. This is kind of a bit of a catch-all as well of just random stuff. So I tidied up a little bit, but I wanted to keep it realistic. This is just how it looks most days. So I've got my tape measure for measuring quilts when they come in, all that good stuff. And then I've got scissors, anything that may be sharp that I want the kids to not touch when they're in here, typically goes up on this ledge. All right, and then we have our batting table. I've got my pressing station. So I've just got a hand-me-down ironing board that I've recovered with one of the covers from Ruby Star Society. I've got a client quilt that I need to get packed up and shipped out, and then a client quilt that needs to get bound. So I've got the binding ready, I've got their quilt ready, got my iron, and then this is another work in progress, kind of a long haul project. It's going to be Joan of Arc by Pride and Joy Quilts. It's just a really long, slow process for foundation paper piecing. When I've got downtime and I'm up for the challenge, then that's when I kind of chip away at it. But definitely going to be a year-round project that'll just take up space on my design wall. So All right, and then this is probably where you're most familiar with me at. So this is going to be that corner with my Modern Textile sign where I've got my sewing machine. This is typically where my sewing machine is set up with the small cutting mat. I just got these fabrics in from Riley Blake. I'm going to be doing a project for them in May for one of my patterns that is releasing this year. So if you subscribe, I'll be sure to make sure that you'll see the upcoming pattern that's getting released in May, I believe is when I'm going to be working on this one. So it's going to be a Halloween line. Batiks really typically aren't my thing, but when I saw these spider webs, the pumpkins, some witches' brooms, things like that, I was like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot and see how it pans out. Behind me, you may be wondering, I've got kind of just a little carry-all, which has a lot of notions. So like my little snowflake trimmer for cutting my chain piece items, screwdriver, stiletto. I've got a little tin, I think, for when I go to retreat of wonder clips. Any kind of those small notions that I reach for on the regular, I make sure to put them in here. So that way when I pack up for a retreat, I just grab this and I know that I have all my typical used items. I have my little jar of wonder clips. This is just going to be, one of my friends made this for me. It's got all the offcut scraps when I'm working on a project. I toss it in here along with clearly a boatload of thread. And then pretty much anything else you might find, just odds and ends. I've got my mini iron in there. I've got a couple of baskets. One has some Elmer's glue with that fine needle. This is probably one of my top used items. It's called a Chom Chom. Instead of using a standard lint roller, it's actually going to be kind of that velvet, and we'll pick up any of that lint threads. And then that way, once again, a bit more environmentally friendly, but then you just empty the lint out from there. So Chom Chom, I'll make sure to link that. And then I've got some notebooks, labels, really odds and ends that I don't typically go in after, which are getting quite dusty down there. All right, so we're at the back part of my little studio. So just to give you an idea of how big this space is, it is 12 feet wide by about 25 feet long. So yes, I did have to move a wall. I'm dangerous with tools. My husband, whether he likes it or not, you know, I did the work, so he didn't have to do it. But yeah, so 12 feet by 25 long. So I've learned to just really make sure the space works for me. I've got all my cotton wide backs here. I've got some additional fabric that I know I'm going to use. So I've got some gingham. I've got canvas. I think I got Joann's at like the last day, some random stuff that I know my kids will love for me to use. I've got like my business docs up there. And then these are kind of just my random breakout bins of items that I either need to photograph. So this is a foundation paper piecing wall hanging, my around the kitchen one. I've got other projects like this, my pencil pocket bookmark that I've got fabric laid out for that I just haven't done. This one's for my carrot zipper pouch. So really this is kind of the works in progress organized by priority of when they need to get done, especially for, you know, content and things like that. I'm always making things. So I've got some Minky, I've got bolts of fabric up there. I've got color cards from Moda, Riley Blake, various places, as well as just some other kind of notions that I use infrequently. Whether like right here, I've got some ribbon and whatnot, tacky spray, things like that. They're kind of on the back end of the business that I might use here and there. All right, and then last but not least, this is my cutting table. So I've got it on a adjustable standing desk, and that way, depending on if I'm walking, I have a little walking pad here for when I'm doing computer work, or if I'm sitting, I can adjust it to whatever height is optimal so I'm ergonomically correct and I'm not getting injured at work for repetitive motion stuff. But yeah, I've got my computer. I'm a big paper person, so I've got my paper calendar, planner, I've got my to-do list. I've been really pushing to take all my photography on my camera these days. So yeah, this is where I do a lot of my work. So let's go take a look at what my works in progress are for 2026, what I'll take to retreat this year. All right, so I'm gonna go through what I currently have stashed away. And just so you know, I get a lot of questions about this. I'm using from Walmart a Heart stackable storage system. It's over in like their tool department. Very helpful for just having everything on wheels when you go to retreat centers. So if you're interested in that, great spot to get that. I'll try to link that down in the show notes as well. So a few of these are carryovers from last year. And I get all my bags from Stitch Supply Co. She gives out these whenever you spend over $50. This one is actually going to be kitchen table quilting. This is the Carly quilt. So I print everything black and white because I'm frugal as can be. It gives a really cool spiral design. And I'm going to be making, I believe, the twin size out of this fun, like very bright and scrappy looking. I think it was a fat eighth bundle. So very fun. Kind of pre-cut already, which I'll make sure has all the pieces there. This one is going to be Simple Joys by Then Came June. So I went through and dug through all my fat quarters, half yards, and it's a lot of white for the background. So that'll be a fun one. What I try to do is make sure to cut these all before I go to retreat, because if you're anything like me, once I start chatting, I start miscutting, and then, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So the next one is going to be, oh, it says Meadow Star, but I don't know what that's for. So, oh no, yeah, Meadow Star by Then Came June. So this is going to be a fun, looks like I'm going with a very kind of fallish looking colorway. Deep purples, browns, oranges, navies. So that'll be fun. And then it also looks like I am using, I think this goes with that, kind of a hodgepodge of Moonglow and Natural and like a gingham look for, yeah, the Moonglow Natural. This was a wide back that I had a while back. So I'll use that probably for the background fabric. And then it'll play really well with all these fun fat quarter projects. This one is going to be Scrappy Gems. So I bought one of the Ruby Star scrap bags, which came with a lot of fun prints. Wonder if you can even see that. And then it looks like I'm using a bunch of scraps that I've used for previous projects. So I've noticed these linens, some Carolyn Friedlander in there, ginghams, and then scraps from Ruby Star. So that's going to be Scrappy Gems from Emily Dennis. Oh, this looks like another scrappy one. Oh, this is a coins quilt, which uses a bunch of charm packs. So I've got a rainbow charm pack. Looks like I'm using a speckled charm pack and then paired with a white charm pack to make that whole quilt together. Another Emily Dennis and another Emily Dennis. Big fan of Emily Dennis designs. Happy Scallops. So I've got 3 layer cakes from Gingaber, and then I'm using Zen Gray, I want to say, for Moda for the background fabric. So that's going to be a fun one, quick. I really try to, when I go to retreat, keep it simple so that way I can't fudge anything up when I'm going through and trimming, anything like that. I like to keep it fun and simple at retreat, and typically I try not to sew my own patterns at retreat, so it's truly kind of a full-blown vacation while I'm there. And then last but not least, let's see what we're doing for this one. This one's gonna be Happy Stripes. So it looks like I've got not only a rainbow layer cake, looks like it is Zoology by Gingaber. I could be saying that wrong. I never know. Some people, I only see their names in writing and I make up my own way to say it. So it'll be a fun print. And then it looks like a Tula Pink Free Spirit Solid layer cake. And then I've got a bunch of gray charm pack or 5-inch squares for the snowballed corners of the Happy Stripes quilt. So let's see. I feel like that's pretty good. This is my current work in progress bin. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. And I think I went into 2025 with like over 20 works in progress. So I've been really working on sewing my stash off lately. So yeah. And in the next video, I'm going to show you the sewing tools you absolutely need as a beginner.